How are you?
Good, sir, good.
Yeah. Okay. So first and foremost thing, congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir.
So, बताओ, I mean, what's your plan? After securing All India Rank 42, आपका क्या plan है अभी?
So the plan right now is to pursue an LM from NLS. Hopefully, that will be clear after the counseling process is over. So yeah, that is the plan right now.
That's the plan. और LLM के बाद क्या करना है? What's the plan उसके बाद?
Sir, the first thing that I want to do is clear the UGC net as soon as possible,
अच्छा.
and then obviously the main goal is to give the competitive exams, the judiciary exams. So obviously, because of the hectic schedule at the LLM program in NLS, that would be hard to do in the next year. But after LLM is over, that would be the ultimate goal that I'm working towards.
That's great. That's great. You're from which college, Ritwik? Punjab.
I'm from University Institute of Legal Studies, Panjab University.
पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी से, राइट ना?
Right.
हाँ, या बिकॉज आई रिमेम्बर आपसे बात हुआ था मेरा, ठीक है, प्रोबेबली
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
तब आप बोले थे पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी एंड वन ऑफ योर फ्रेंड सजेस्टेड समथिंग, जितना मुझे याद आ रहा है,
Yes, sir.
फ्रेंड.
Our senior Vishwas, yeah, he was all India rank.
राइट, राइट, विश्वास शेयर्ड, यस, अंडरस्टूड. अच्छा, बोलो अभी इस बार के पेपर दैट यू हैव सीन इट, हाउ इज इट डिफरेंट देन द लास्ट ईयर्स पेपर? आपको क्या अलग अलग लगा इस साल के पेपर में?
Sir, it was vastly different from the last year's paper or like the preceding 3 years papers only because in those papers, the main focus was on the case laws, the recent case laws, the preceding 3 year case laws, and the questions which came in that paper, they were related primarily from the case law itself. So if you had read the case law in its entirety and you know the quorum, you know the judges who gave the dissenting opinion, you could easily answer the questions. However, in this year's question paper, it was more about the basics. Even though their passages did come from cases, the questions came from the basic conceptual understanding of the syllabus of the subject itself.
Yeah,
So that was
definitely.
one major difference.
Definitely. And paper में आप, when you see first 24 passages in the paper, how's your reaction? I mean, because that was not there last year. We उन लोग मतलब they were asking 12 passages, right? तो आपका पहला reaction क्या था? I mean, after seeing 24 passages.
Sir, actually, when I opened the sheet, I did not see the last passage number itself. I just started attempting the first passage. And when the first passage's question ended at 5, then I got to know that, okay, it is 24 passages.
चलो अब गेम चेंज हो
So,
गया.
yes, sir. But then after attempting 3 passages, I got to know that the difficulty level is low. So my attempt will have to be high. So then after that, first thing that I changed was to attempt the AMR, OMR as I was attempting the questions. And then secondly, I put an arbitrary clock in my mind that I have to complete the paper first reading at the 80th minute mark and then leave 40 minutes to do the rest of the questions,
Division
whatever
level.
was.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
That's great. That's a very good on the spot strategy that you made. I hope that paid off basically on the spot strategy that you made.
Yes,
What's
sir.
your मतलब first set में पहला question आपका क्या गिरा था? What was your first question that was?
Sir, the first question was related to the principles of natural justice.
Jurisprudence one.
Yes, sir. Sir, it was a judgment AK Cryfax,
अच्छा,
and
okay.
yes, sir.
Okay,
In that
understand.
the question.
Okay. That's very good. That's very good understanding. So, what's your attempt? Total attempt आप कितने किए थे?
Sir, I attempted 110. After attempting the questions, I had 10 minutes left. So I had 4 questions which I wanted to attempt, but then I did not because I wasn't sure about the answers. So
I don't think so कि आप उसमें शायद नेगेटिव मार्किंग होने के चांसेस भी रहते हैं, ठीक है, when you are
yes,
not
sir, yes.
right at the end of the day. Okay. So आप इस बार that you shared the strategy and you shared the attempt, right? One very interesting that you have mentioned, इस बार के पैसेजेस जो 24 पैसेजेस थे, उसमें हाई कोर्ट के केसेस भी थे, उसमें आपके लैंडमार्क केसेस भी थे, उसमें आपके रिसेंट भी थे, एंड इट्स अ वैरायटी। आई मीन उसमें आर्टिकल्स भी थे फ्रॉम डिफरेंट जर्नल्स दे आस्किंग, ठीक है। बट व्हाट डू यू थिंक, आपका वन ऑफ द मेन डिसाइडिंग फैक्टर इन दिस ईयर पेपर जो रैंक लाने में आपको मदद किया है, व्हाट विल बी द डिसाइडिंग फैक्टर, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत वैरायटीज हैं आपके।
Right, sir. Sir, the main deciding factor when it came to the questions was I did not really have a problem with the static questions because those you either know the answer or you don't know the answer. But with regards to the especially the journal passages and the passages that came from slightly older landmark cases, a lot of the answers were available in
Passages,
the passage itself.
so you have to read the passage, right? That's the thing.
Yes, you have to read the passage, but what I have learned from this paper was to work your way back to the passage instead of firstly reading the passage and then reading the questions. Firstly, try to I would say that read the question and then get the answer from the passage if you don't know the answer uh, from the get-go. So yeah, that was the deciding factor.
Yes, and that's the thing. Because when I was talking to many students, Ritwik, okay, so one of the things they shared कि सर इतनी बार पैसेज में जाना था एंड फिर वापस आना था क्वेश्चन में, दैट टुक लॉट ऑफ टाइम इफ यू आर नॉट डिसाइडिंग ऑन द स्पॉट के हाँ दिस इज द आंसर, राइट। एंड अल्टीमेटली ये गेम टाइम का ही मैक्सिमम स्टूडेंट जहां पर हार गए बहुत स्टूडेंट कि वो लोग शायद कंप्लीट ही नहीं कर पाए या ढंग से पैसे ही नहीं पढ़ पाए, राइट। सो
Yes.
दैट्स द थिंग। सो अभी बात करते हैं आपके प्रिपरेशन के रिगार्डिंग, राइट, बिकॉज as you joined, Biswas is also there. Biswas is all India rank 28, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
आपके
Yes.
seniors के 28 थे, आपके 42 है. That's great. ठीक है. So आपके प्रिपरेशन के बारे में थोड़ा बात करते हैं, ठीक है? कि मुझे याद है बिकॉज वी आर टोटली फोकसिंग ऑन द बेसिक्स, हम लोग बार बार यही कम्युनिकेट करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे कि बेसिक्स पढ़ो, ठीक है, क्योंकि जजमेंट्स क्लैड वाले का कोई भरोसा नहीं है, दे आर आस्किंग एनीथिंग एट द एंड ऑफ द डे।
Yes.
द ओनली थिंग दैट कैन बी डन और एक स्टूडेंट कर सकता है जिसके ऊपर रिलाई कर सकता है कि आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग सही करो। आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग सही करने से देयर इज ए पॉसिबिलिटी कि यू माइट क्रैक द एग्जाम, राइट। सो आपका प्रिपरेशन के बारे में आप थोड़ा बताओ कि हाउ इज द प्रिपरेशन you have done, where Judiciary helped, how it proceeds basically in regards to your preparation.
Yes, sir. As you very succinctly put, that we had to focus on the basics itself. And so it was more of it wasn't a matter of choice for me to focus on the basics because and that is why I joined Judiciary as well because it was our ninth semester and we had our compulsory moots and our mandatory internship. So the only thing that I could do what was in my hand was to focus on the basics. So I think I utilized a lot of like 25, 30 days, even more than that, on the basic itself, and I identified certain subjects such as constitutional law and criminal law, and environmental law, and as well as jurisprudence, and then I completed the basics of that. So, and with regards to the minor subject, I completely relied upon the research, the notes that you provided us because obviously I could not do an expansive reading of those minor subjects such as IPR and company law and even taxation law. So I focused with regards to basics on that. So most of my preparation was actually spent on the basics itself. If I had to give you a date on 10th of November, I was finished with the basics. The last basics I did was of family law. Post that, the last 20 days, I focused on the recent case laws. I identified around 20 case laws from the casebook that you provided us of the 2023. 20 case laws, the major case laws. I read the case laws in its entirety
Okay.
from SEC and from the notes itself. And I made notes on those 20 cases. And then I identified 10 cases each from the year 2021 and 2022. and then I read them from the textbook itself.
Nice.
And yes, and then I gave the exam. I also focused on the basic mocks that was given by the.
हाँ, yes, yes. क्योंकि एक चैप्टर के अलग सब्जेक्ट वाइज चैप्टर वाइज मॉक थे, राइट? बेसिक मॉक्स वर देयर एंड
Yes, sir.
that was yeah, many students said that was quite handy कि उसमें बहुत पिन पॉइंट होके एक चैप्टर को आप फोकस कर सकते हो टू गेट द थिंग स्टार्ट, राइट?
Right.
Yes, yes, yes. And because now इस बार के इसमें आपके as you suggested you took a long time to do your basis, which is a very good thing and that ultimately paid off for you कि आप बहुत ज्यादा टाइम आपके बेसिक्स में दिए हो, ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
एंड आप केस लॉज में स्ट्रेटेजिकली पढ़े हो, बिकॉज वी आल्सो प्रोवाइड द केस बुक्स एंड एवरीथिंग आपके लिए बहुत जितना शॉर्ट कर सकते हैं हम लोग कि आप जितना कम पढ़ के चीजों को आगे जा सकते हो, वी ट्राई टू हेल्प स्टूडेंट इन दैट वे। और वो आप बताए, बट यहाँ पर कुछ अनवांटेड सब्जेक्ट्स दैट हैव बीन आस्क्ड दिस टाइम, अनवांटेड सब्जेक्ट व्हिच हैजंट बीन आस्क्ड अर्लियर, ठीक है? उसके बारे में आप क्या बताना चाहोगे कि क्लैट पीजी के ये थोड़ा अनप्रेडिक्टेबल नेचर?
Yes, sir. Because I have given CLAT 2 times now, because I gave the UG as well. So I know it is completely an unpredictable exam. I'm very clear on that. So there were certain questions, like for example, there was a passage in which there was a taxation case, and then they had asked a very specific question with regards to sections 250, 245A to 245M or something like that, and they had asked under which amendment have these sections come. So unless and until you had like complete knowledge of the taxation law, something which we have not even been taught in our college as of yet, it is our 10th semester exam.
True.
So you could not answer these questions. At the same time, there were around 30 passages, sorry, around 30 questions, which were completely of such a simple nature that all the answers were available in the passage itself, the jurisprudence passage.
True.
So this was a mixed bag of a question paper, and all the time, every time the CLAT is such that you cannot really predict or say for certainty that okay, these type of questions will come, or you can expect these subjects only.
And ये शायद one of the nature of the CLAT, because first coming out the passage 12 से आप 24 कर दो, फिर 24 से नेक्स्ट टाइम शायद 10 आ जाए, you never know, this thing can happen. उसके बाद आपके सब्जेक्ट्स, आई मीन स्पेसिफिकली पैक्ड, आपके टैक्सेशन, हाउ दे आर आस्किंग द क्वेश्चन, इट्स मेकिंग. But another thing is there are some questions which can be answered easily, that you said कि sir they have a 30-40 question, आप अच्छे से पैसेज पढ़ो, you will get the answer from the passage itself. So दोनों चीज रहेंगे, आपको उठाना है कि जहां पर आप स्कोर कर सकते हो. What you are trying to suggest, what I'm understanding from your point of view, right? So as you said, आपका तो जुडिशरी मेन गोल है, ऋतिक. As you said at the end of, अब सर पहले भी मुझे आप बोले थे while I talking to you, सर मुझे जुडिशरी करना है, ठीक है? एंड
Yes, sir.
अब मुझे एलएलएम अभी ओके. सो आप कौन से स्टेट को टारगेट कर रहे हो जुडिशरी के लिए डाउन द टाइम?
Sir, the states will be from my region itself, the Hindi belt. So at this moment, I have 4-5 states. Firstly, is my home state of Himachal Pradesh itself. But Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Rajasthan are the other states. And accordingly, whichever notification comes, whenever I am prepared, then I will target that accordingly.
तो पहला प्रायोरिटी के पंजाब हरियाणा है फर्स्ट टारगेट,
Uh,
या राजस्थान?
Yes, sir. The first target will be obviously Haryana and Himachal Pradesh. It is usually observed that the Himachal Pradesh judiciary is not something which gives a lot of vacant seats. Like the exam was conducted this year as well of the Himachal Pradesh judiciary, and only I believe around 5, 6, or 8 seats were there in the general category. So then obviously the focus becomes towards the Haryana judiciary exam, which is conducted in a regular manner, and obviously a lot of seats are there.
Interesting. And also you said about the UGC. UGC is a very important aspect, right? कि आप बोल रहे हो कि सर मुझे जल्दी से जल्दी UGC क्रैक करना है, ठीक है? So why is it? It's because of the backup that you are thinking regarding the UGC, और कि सर
Yes, sir.
सिक्योर हो जाते हैं उसके बाद जुडिशरी में कूदेंगे, जो होगा देखा जाएगा सर, अगर निकल गए तो अच्छी बात है, अगर नहीं निकला तो I have everything in my hand I can play with at the end of the day.
Yes, sir. That is of paramount consideration to me. But apart from that, I have a deep interest in academia. The 5 years that I spent, most of my internships or projects that I did or articles I wrote were of that academic nature itself. There was not a lot of litigation or corporate work that was involved. So that is why UGC net seems like a viable option for me, both for long-term plan and the short-term plan.
Yeah, and one thing for your reference, I don't know कि you know it or not, कि you can attempt the UGC in the June itself. आपके लिए आप जून में
Yes,
attempt,
sir. Yes,
right?
sir, I know.
So there is a huge opportunity because you already cracked exam. तो जाओ जून में क्रैक कर लो आसानी से. That I'll share with you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, ये बताओ कि ऋत्विक, how's the classes? There are many teachers. I have also taken classes. Okay, there are many teachers have taken classes. How the classes that you have found out? How it was in relation to your understanding?
Yes, sir. Sir, with regards to the classes, what I found was because of the hectic schedule that I had, I wasn't able to attend the classes regularly or at the time given. But thankfully, the recorded lectures were there; they were present. So what I did was, with regards to classes, was I identified two types of things. Firstly, was if I did not understand a concept or if I had trouble like remembering all the sections on all the basics of that concept, then I attended the classes. And secondly, was with regards to revision. Like in the last 20 days, as I mentioned, I was only primarily focused on the cases itself. So in these days, what I did was, if I had to revise the constitutional law subject, I attended the class itself, and then from that I was able to recall whatever was there in the constitution. So yeah, they were very helpful.
That's great. That's great. And also you mentioned about the case books and everything that was there for the cases, right? Yeah. What about the mocks? Because there are different kind of mocks that you were given. Okay. Could you shed some light regarding the mocks? Okay, what you have gone through and how was
Yes,
it?
sir. Primarily, I went through the basic mocks. The basic that were there. There were of a lot of different concepts. So what I did was, whenever I completed a concept, like 2, 3, 4 days after I had completed the concept, I used to attempt the basic mocks of that concept, and then I used to do the mock and then evaluate whatever mistakes I made. So that the mock process and the evaluation process, it helped me remember that okay, these are the mistakes, and helped me remember whatever like section I had forgotten or case I had forgotten, and that was the main goal. Again, but with regards to the hectic schedule, I wasn't able to attempt any full subject mocks or full mocks. So yeah, that was.
It's okay, but that's the beauty of it, because there are so different kind of mocks, because we have weekly tests, we have basic mocks, we have full length mocks, we have recent judgments mocks. So the thing, as per the students' weakness and how they want to improve their preparation, वो उसको चेरी पिक कर ही सकता है, and that you have cherry picked yourself के नहीं मुझे basic और strong करना है and I want to go by that, so you have done it and you got the result. वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, आपके स्ट्रेंथ वीकनेस के ऊपर काम करना. नाउ ये जनरली ये सवाल मैं किसी को पूछा नहीं हूं आज तक, बट मुझे लग रहा है आई डोंट नो दिस मैसेज विल पास ऑन टू क्लैट कंसोर्शियम और नॉट, ठीक है, बट आई थिंक दिस should be communicated to CLAT authority, or how they're going to know it, I don't know. But मैं आपसे एक चीज पूछना चाहता हूँ कि what are the things or one or two things that you want to change इन क्लैट, हाउ दे आर कंडक्टिंग द क्लैट, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है ये सवाल बहुत रिलेवेंट होता जा रहा है दिन ब दिन, बिकॉज हाउ फ्रीक्वेंटली दे आर डूइंग द थिंग्स विच इज नॉट ऑफ एनी हेल्प फॉर एनी स्टूडेंट. और मुझे लगता है इसको, इस मैसेज को मैक्सिमम से मैक्सिमम स्टूडेंट के पास भी पहुंचना चाहिए, एंड क्लैट कंसोर्शियम इसके ऊपर सोचे यार। आप मतलब कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते, अगर कुछ कर रहे हो तो एटलीस्ट आप इंटीमेट तो कर दो, दैट्स द लीस्ट यू कैन डू फॉर द स्टूडेंट। आपको क्या लगता है कि व्हाट आर द टू थिंग्स दैट यू वांट टू चेंज, हाउ दे कंडक्ट द क्लैट एंड पेपर और एनीथिंग, what will be your suggestion?
Yes, sir. Firstly, I think there should be a standardization of the difficulty that is there,
Okay.
or the kind of question that you are asking. Because again, I have prior experience with the UG exam as well. So what happened was that in the 2019 exam, the UG exam, and which I think again has happened in this year's UG exam and PG exam as well, was there was a drastic drop in the difficulty of the exam. So with regards to that, what happens is that the attempt has to go up, and has to go up like meteorically. So in the UG exam of 2019 as well, what I did not know was that this was a possibility, and so I attempted only 165 questions. But my colleagues and classmates, they attempted 195, 200 questions. That I got to know the minute I walked out of the room. Although I had last 15 minutes I had for doing the paper, but I could not even like comprehend that such an easy paper had come, and I had to up my attempt accordingly. So this is the first thing that has to change, that you have to have a standardized difficulty. You have to have a standardized set of questions, standardized set of at least the topics from which you are asking the question. So that is the first thing. And secondly, with regards to pattern, see, again, nobody can predict what the pattern of an exam can be. But with all the competitive exams, be it UPSC, be it judiciary, be it UGC net, any aspirant or any test giver is solely relying on the previous year question papers to adjust what the pattern will be. If anybody has relied on the past 7-year CLAT PG question paper, he would expect uh, 12 passages, 10 questions, and he would expect them from coming from the recent case.
Yeah.
That did not come this time. They completely changed the game, and like at the end of the day, it is a 2-hour exam. Uh, your mental state at that point of time is the only deciding factor that will help you give the exam in its entirety. Otherwise, the the preparation is done by everyone, the effort is given by everyone, but the CLAT consortium should at least think about the mental state that the students have to go through at the 2-hour point. And the last thing that is more of a practical issue is to select the centers and the invigilators accordingly, because from what I heard from certain people was that a lot of invigilator issue was there, that they were interfering with regards to the proper procedure of exam, that they were interrupting or they were talking loudly, and all these things were happening. So yeah, these are the three things they can focus on, and create better quality examinations which will satisfy the aspirant.
Yeah, and absolutely, and that's why, because this thing, no, this is so sudden and so abrupt in each and every time they are doing it. Though in CLAT UG there is certain kind of pattern they are following, in PG तो कुछ भी नहीं है। पीजी में तो मतलब लास्ट 7 साल में उठाओगे ऐसा लगेगा आपको हर साल एक बार नया नया क्वेश्चन पेपर क्रिएट हुआ है, नए नए सब्जेक्ट्स ऐड हुए हैं, नथिंग इज, नो सर्टेनिटी इज देयर, एंड दैट्स इज वेरी मच के they should know कि what they're trying to do, what they're trying to achieve, because at the end of the day they're playing with the life of the students, which should not be the case, right? Yeah. But nonetheless, thank you very much, Ritik, and it's our honor to just help you to get into NLS Bangalore, and hope you have a very bright future ahead. And if you need any help, definitely I'll always be there. Okay, and thank you very much, and see you again.